here with Pat Moher, CEO of FTMIG, back again.
Thanks, man.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's
Absolutely.
going really well. Sorry for the phone there, just checking up on
It's
birthday
okay.
texts and all that good stuff.
We just fly with these things.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
But we wanted to catch up because the last time we brought you on, and we were speaking about, we showed a couple of really interesting videos as well of just your progress of working through the cannabis space, and clearly something big just happened last week. It's legalization.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
We got there. We got to the promised land.
How many years have we been investing, waiting for this, and then
like
just
4.
takes it afterwards?
Oh yeah, yeah. What a climactic ending, eh?
Well, that's stocks, though. That's stocks. You have to rip away stock prices from industry. One has been going for a long time, and you could argue a lot of those are overvalued, or a lot of things baked
Certain
in.
names, sure.
But when it comes to cannabis, we're just getting started. There's so much more to go still.
So exciting, man. Yeah, like literally, we just got off the starting line. You know, the stock prices might be through the roof, but the companies have only just gotten started, and it's going to be really exciting to see other countries come online. That's going to be like the international trend is to me far more exciting. The medical side, the hemp side, like. Yeah, recreational cannabis is great, and I can legally order and smoke weed now, but like, so what? We already do that. What we don't do is all these scientific studies, figuring out DINs. Like when the first DIN comes out for a cannabis company, it's going to be huge. Yeah. Who would you guess it would be if you could hazard one?
It's too hard. I put guesses out there all the time. That's too hard to go to because there's just so many different things that are going on.
We won't put them live on the spot.
Yeah, and I'll get it wrong. But what have you been doing the last since we last spoke? I mean, I know you're going to conferences all the time, you're talking to a lot of people all the time. What's been happening in the crazy world of ethical image?
Yeah, it's been a lot of content creation as usual. We launched. With our client, Muskoka Grown, we launched sort of a campaign for them, sent out some influencer boxes, did a tree planting CSR actually. We got some pictures and a little website to show you there, a couple industry events.
Well, why don't we show the website just as you're going on?
Yeah, why not?
They'll just play in the background.
Yeah, and I'd love to give a shout out to them because they're, they're tree planting partners and they sort of run with the same CSR values. So wegrowmuskoka.ca is the website, and it was basically their brand launch of the CSR arm of their company, shouting out trees and trying to build some local forests. So
right here, together we grow Muskoka.
Yeah.
I actually lived in Muskoka for 3 years. I just recently came back.
Very cool.
I've been back for about 1.5 years now, though, but beautiful up there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, I was just up there recently.
wegrowmuskoka.ca, and we also have a lot of photos to be going through because you are a photographer. So
yeah,
that makes
absolutely.
Sense.
so this is part of the We Grow Muskoka campaign, and you see those squares there are actually, if you go to the next one, you can see a bit of the texture on the paper. We actually gave out seed paper as part of the activation. So that little white piece you rip off, and you've got the We Grow Muskoka information on the 4x6, but then you plant that seed paper in the ground, and you're gonna have wildflowers growing in 21 days. So we did it leading up to legalization, and if people planted on that day, they could have had a full garden of wildflowers by legalization day. Yeah,
I love it, man.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. And so we just did a little bit of photography of the activation, that kind of thing, and it was a really cool day.
Team there, I can only imagine.
They're the promotional people, and we got some coasters set up in bars all around Toronto.
Muskoka Brewery.
A lot of people.
Muskoka,
you got it. How are you going to profit?
Toronto now, I love it.
Absolutely.
It was you could only detour other places. Now it's all coming on. Great place. I've been on a tour of their beer facility.
Beautiful.
Actually, I love it, man. This is some swag from them.
Yeah, these are the influencer
And then we're going
boxes.
into a conference, I believe, with this, correct?
Yeah, so this was at the Hard Rock Cafe. It was after Grow Up, the conference in Niagara. So we shot this for Cannabis Compliance. There's a couple of the Canna community homies showing up.
Harrison, I've had talks with him before, actually.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Alex, Desi, and Mel, all good, very good people. So yeah, we just we shot this party for them and did a little video that we'll probably show you later. Yeah. And this was all part of actually
Deepak himself.
Mr.
We've got an interview with him later today.
Yeah, he's going to be coming on.
Talking about a lot of this stuff as well.
Shout out Deepak, shout out CCI, shout out Trina from your favorite paparazzo if you're watching. And so we actually did this as part of a new agreement with CCI where we're going to be their content creation partners. So,
awesome.
Yeah, if the up and coming retail landscape starts booming, as soon as that happens, we're there taking photo, video, and doing
And they're
website
all
design
over the
for
place.
their clients.
CCI,
Oh, they're booming.
they're really making a footprint all over, not just Canada, but globally as well. So
that's the
really,
big game, yeah.
Really interesting.
Shout out to them for the Medtainers too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
so
are we switching conferences?
This goes over to so the Business of Cannabis. We were at an event hosted by Business of Cannabis, and of course Jay Rosenthal.
Yep.
Just did some photography for them. A new client coming in. Hey Nick. He was a bit of a stud and showing off for the camera there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're a great new client. We really enjoyed their green and silver, sort of attacking the market of boomers. It's a huge segment of the cannabis industry and not so much being talked about. So they're tapping into that niche there.
It's amazing. Once you start going medical, there's a lot of people who would love to come off Percocet. They'd love to come off all these heavier drugs, and if they were able to get cannabis into pill form or even a liquid, I can imagine liquids, CBD oil, THC oil, and stuff like that would be much. Like I can't see many elderly people going out there and grab some flour and smoking up a huge joint. I don't see that personally.
It's a different target
some
market,
might,
right? Yeah.
But
some don't even want to smoke.
In other elements, though, when it comes to you put a couple drops in your coffee in the morning or whatever it be, and that's your medicine. That's what helps your ailments, your arthritis, your stomach pain, your head pain,
absolutely.
Whatever. So I
it's
love
going
that
to be really
aspect.
exciting when
and not enough people.
Not enough people, exactly, and it's really just THC and CBD. Those are the two talking points. What about when we start going down CBD, CBN, all these? It's going to be loose, man. I can't wait for the R&D.
There's I think I last saw it. There was 111 known cannabinoids, and we talk about 2.
Yeah, I've heard upwards of like 140.
Is there more?
It's wild.
Because we have so much money going into research now.
Absolutely, you have to explore the science.
Finding more and more. Yeah. And the fact that I know I've mentioned a couple of times, and I'm sure we've had talks about this, our endocannabinoid system in our body, where we're actually built to intake cannabinoids.
Yeah,
we have a system in our body,
and we still don't even fully understand that.
So
this is going over. Yeah, this is going over here to the Strain Print event. Actually, they launched their Strain Print community. It's a new community, mobile application, that kind of thing, where you can go and talk about different aspects of the cannabis community. So if you want to talk investing like we love talking, or even cannabis health science, you can go on this community and find like-minded users talking about the same thing. So really cool app that they that recently launched.
Well, I love it because we're finally having, when we first started talking about cannabis years ago and investing it, we had nowhere to turn to. We had Stockhouse. And without going into that, you got to really watch what you read and believe on certain forums in different areas. There's always people with motives. It's nice to have actual communities. I think I just finished the photos there.
Cool.
Actual communities coming in and having a place to converse, not just as investing. Because
it's not just investing
all the time. This is a way of life. This is a new economic sector being born in Canada.
Yeah.
So much more than just investing, even though that obviously is a point that we talk about a lot.
It's there's always one key thing that everyone's talking about. Right now it might be the OCS, the sales backlog, and orders maybe not getting delivered. It's funny.
Going on strike.
So when did we went legal on Tuesday or Wednesday last week?
Wednesday.
So I ordered some on Thursday, expecting maybe for my birthday today that I would get some. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Like I was hoping for some high THC celebration cannabis, but it looks like I might have to go to a friendly neighbor.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like that was on purpose from Canada Post.
Yeah, you got to think they saw that coming. Well, so we were just talking about things that we're excited for. Excuse me while I scratch my eye here. We also have a couple other people in our ethical interviews that we're super excited about.
We've got a couple of videos. Why don't we throw one of those right now? You see the name and we'll throw it up.
Sure, yeah. So we'll go to our ethical interviews now. This was recorded at the Grow Up conference, and same one that we did the CCI pictures at, and we've got another video from there. But this is basically, it's a small selection. You can check out the rest on Twitter at Ethical Image. We're releasing them day by day and trying to plant trees for them. But essentially, it's what they're excited about in the cannabis industry, up and coming, and lots of variety. So
why don't we roll that to the now, and we'll let the audience look and see and hear.
Yeah, cool.
Perfect.
Mix it up a little.
What I'm really excited about is bridging the cannabis industry with the mainstream Canadian industry as we educate people and embrace more people into our cannabis community.
Okay, so one of the things I'm most excited about is the unlocking of research that's going to fuel new product format innovation. So for example, when you think about consumable beverages and cracking that onset duration curve, most consumables now have a 60 to 90 minute onset, and then it's a 4 to 6 hour trip, which is obviously a commitment. When we crack that onset duration curve where you can feel the effects of the cannabinoids in just 5 to 10 minutes, and then you are fully sober in 60, that changes social setting, and there's so many implications and applications of that. I'm really excited for consumable beverages.
So very excited about the international markets. There's clearly a lot happening in many, many countries overseas. As Canada starts to legalize cannabis for non-medical purposes, a lot of these countries are looking at how we've regulated this product. And from that perspective, it's a fantastic opportunity for Canadian companies to be able to get into those international sort of markets. I've been working very closely with the federal regulators around the world to develop cannabis policy and legislation. So really looking forward to sort of expanding that on a global scale.
What I'm really excited about, I think, is the shifting paradigm that's going to come from the size of the cannabis industry. It's so much bigger than most people realize. If you thought about trying to regulate corn as its own substance right now, it's in all of our food as a sugar, or as a starch, or as a flour. It can be used to make intoxicants and fuel, and that's really what we're talking about here with cannabis. And we've really only scratched the surface when it comes to cannabinoids, for example. So, it's going to be really exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the supply chain. Right now we're introducing global supply chain standards into the next market here in Canada, and that's super exciting, and it's going to affect the whole world. Just watch.
Oh, it was awesome, man. Great work.
Pretty exciting.
I love seeing it. I love seeing those things come together. And
yeah.
A lot of people may not be recognizing some of the faces in there. Over the last couple of years, I've gone to different conferences or even events at Ryerson when I was a student over there. Some of these people come in to speak about it. Yeah. So it's interesting. There's a lot of
small world. It kind of the more you bury yourself in it.
Cannabis and just small cap companies in general, but cannabis, everyone is coming through. And when you start having someone who shines in what they do, there aren't that many experts out there, so they become the experts.
We've got to get more ethical experts.
Because they're constantly going into that.
Yeah. So let's touch on maybe what you're excited about. What's your big, what are you most excited about the cannabis industry being legal now?
I'm going to sound like a geek. Economics.
Sure.
I want to see Canada finally get out of its constant net negative GDP. We're constantly importing more than we're exporting. And when it comes to cannabis, we're not going to be importing cannabis. Not right away, at least. I'm sure it'll happen soon.
Eventually.
We're going to be exporters of cannabis. And that's going to be tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars very quickly. I love that aspect because that's creating jobs for Canadians. That's creating an industry that we're going to be specialists in, and that when we've already seen it. I speak about it in our interview with Deepak later on. When you're going abroad, they're turning to Canada for know-how and for all these different. I love that aspect as a Canadian my whole life, but just in general. So I think that aspect of how it's going to be able to really create so many different sectors and jobs and products and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm excited for.
Awesome.
But I'm also an
the
investor,
economics.
So I still
of course, you got to stay true to yourself.
That's where my money is, but
yeah, man. There's a lot to be excited about. I still got to pick what my number one thing is, but I think it's hopefully the amount of trees that we can plant as a company next year. Nice. We've done I think we're over 5,000 trees now. So
that's fantastic.
Next year we're going to try and 10x that, plant 50,000, and see where we can go from there.
Beautiful.
I think we got another video from same event.
Yeah,
but it's not during the day. It's a bit during the evening. The party, the CCI Hard Rock Cafe party.
So let's roll to that now.
Cool.
another look at the CCI party once more. And we have one more video because we want to touch on something really quickly when we come back from this.
Might as well stick with party videos.
We'll roll right to the last video really quickly, and we'll come back and
cool.
talk about it a little bit more.
Let's do it. So this is the Strain Print community launch.
Perfect. Some more work from the Ethical Image team. No, I love it, man. I love seeing these things. I love learning a little bit more.
If we're going to the events, we might as well document them, right?
Exactly, and being alongside CCI, but just all the other people you've been building a network with. I can imagine a lot more is still to come. But you wanted to talk really quickly to end off with the OCS.
Yeah, I mean, it's topical. It's what people are, like we said earlier, people generally tend to talk about one thing in concentrated periods. But one thing that I've been noticing on social media lately, you know, the Twitter community is where the conversation happens, as I'm sure you know. The OCS and their wasteful packaging. I saw one order where I think it was, what did he order? 21 strains, and he got 26 packages. Yeah. It was like boxes filled with like filters. So I'm like, I mean, you know, we have this chance to lead the world in a new economy, a new sector, you know, a new real lifestyle. Like this is it's not a new lifestyle, but it's coming out from the dark side and coming into the light. Yeah. I think we really need to scratch our heads and think, are we going to set trends in a negative way, plastic waste, cardboard waste, or are we going to, like, I don't know, is there this hemp thing that maybe we can work into the incorporation, get some sustainable packaging going on? So, you know, I'm throwing out a challenge to all the licensed producers to reduce their waste, and we're probably going to start cooking something up to, you know, do a campaign to solve that problem, because it is a problem right now, and it's the one, you know, aside from maybe orders being delayed, big whoop, you have to wait a week for your weed, but the waste is a big issue, and I think we need to challenge that directly before we get carried away.
Well, more on that soon, because I've heard a lot of people say that. Even I looked at it and I go, wait, what?
It's a little
per
bit crazy.
Gram? If I'm ordering 5 grams, put it into one container for me.
You would think, right? You would think.
So stay tuned for that. Always a pleasure, my man. Thanks for coming on the show again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We'll have you on again in the near future with more videos.
Can't wait.
And more photos. Thanks, man.